When South Park debuted in August 97, it quickly gained a cult following and became something of a late 90s pop culture phenomenon. Whether you liked the show or not, everybody in the late 90s knew what South Park was and instantly recognised the show's four main characters. Although the show's plot would focus primarily around the adventures of Stan, Kyle, Cartman and Kenny, creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone did from the show's first episode introduce a collection of South Park residents who would become regular secondary characters in the show. However, there was one character who, in the show's early years, would become almost as recognisable to non-fans of South Park as the four main characters.
Hello there, children.
Hey, Chef.
How are my little crackers today?
The reason for Chef's prominent place in 90s pop culture had a lot to do with the release of a South Park soundtrack album during its second season, Chef Aid. Based on a Season 2 episode of the same name, the album featured a number of extended musical numbers from the show, including what would become the album's hit single, Chocolate Salty Balls.
If you ever need a pick me up, just stick my balls in your mouth.
The single was a massive hit, particularly in the UK, even peaking at number 1 in the singles chart. Voice actor Isaac Hayes, who himself had a hugely successful career as a soul artist, would even go on to perform the song at the 2002 Glastonbury Festival. The character of Chef really was a prominent part of the show's early years. One of the only level-headed adults in South Park, Chef was usually the one person the boys would seek for advice when they needed help.
Hello there, children.
Hey, Chef.
How's it going?
Bad.
Why bad?
He was also the focal point for the storyline of a number of episodes, particularly in the show's early seasons, which is why it was so surprising when, at the beginning of season 10, this happened.
Oh, damn it.
No.
The return of Chef aired in March 2006 and would be the character's final appearance on the show. It begins with a fictional previously on South Park segment, which suggests that Chef had decided to leave town and travel the world with something called the Super Adventure Club. Soon after, Chef returns to South Park. However, the boys soon notice that there's something not right about Chef. His speech appears clunky and disjointed.
That's right. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody.
And he begins to display signs of inappropriate behaviour towards the kids at South Park Elementary. After investigating, the boys discover that Chef has been brainwashed by the Super Adventure Club, and as the boys try to convince Chef to leave the club, he falls from a bridge after it's struck by lightning and meets his untimely death. It's a particularly gruesome end for the character of Chef, and on first take appears an extremely abrupt way to exit the show. So why did such a popular character make such a sudden and drastic exit? The circumstances leading to Chef's exit from the show really go back a number of months to the season 9 episode, Trapped in the Closet. By this point in the show's run, South Park had taken satirical aim at just about every organised religion. In Trapped in the Closet, the focus of the plot is Scientology, and features a number of Hollywood celebrities who practice the faith.
Nobody has no answers.
Stan takes a personality test conducted by Scientologists, and when the results suggest that he's depressed, he pays to sign up for an induction to Scientology. After being audited, Stan's high thetan level sees him declared the reincarnation of Scientology founder L. Ron Hubbard. This leads to a visit from well-known Scientologist Tom Cruise, who, after discovering that Stan isn't a fan of his acting, locks himself in the closet and refuses to come out.
Mr. Cruz? Mr. Cruz, come out of the closet. No. Come on, Mr. Cruz, this is ridiculous. I'm never coming out.
The episode created much controversy at the time, most notably for its depiction of the teachings of Scientology. Among those unhappy with the way Scientology is portrayed in the episode was voice actor Isaac Hayes, a longtime member of the church. However, the extent of Hayes' unhappiness with the episode is something that really is still unclear to this day. Trapped in the Closet aired on November 16, 2005, and doesn't feature the character of Chef. However, in an interview with the AV Club published on January 4, 2006, Hayes is asked about the episode, and he responds, "Well, I talked to Matt and Trey about that. They didn't let me know until it was done. I said, guys, you have it all wrong. We're not like that. I know that's your thing, but get your information correct, because somebody might believe that shit, you know? But I understand what they're doing. I told them to take a couple of Scientology courses and understand what we do." So although maybe not entirely comfortable with the episode, his tone in the interview appears quite relaxed on the subject. which is why it came as such a shock just 2 months later when Isaac Hayes quit the show.
Wait a minute, what the hell did I just do?
In a statement, Hayes was quoted as saying, "There is a place in this world for satire, but there is a time when satire ends and intolerance and bigotry towards religious beliefs begins. Religious beliefs are sacred to people and at all times should be respected and honoured. As a civil rights activist of the past 40 years, I cannot support a show that disrespects those beliefs and practices." There's a huge difference in tone between Hayes' statement when he quits the show and his interview with the AV Club just 2 months previous. After Hayes quit the show, creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone agreed to release him from his contract. In an interview with MTV, Matt Stone said, "This has nothing to do with intolerance and bigotry and everything to do with the fact that Isaac Hayes is a Scientologist and that we recently featured Scientology in an episode of South Park. In 10 years and over 150 episodes of South Park, Isaac never had a problem with the show making fun of Christians, Muslims, Mormons and Jews. He got a sudden case of religious sensitivity when it was his religion featured on the show." The next episode of South Park to air after Hayes left the show was The Return of Chef, where the character is written out of the show in a gruesome manner. Chef's lines in the episodes are created by slicing together recordings from previous episodes, and this is tied into the plot by the story that Chef has been brainwashed and is therefore speaking in almost robotic tones.
Right?
That's right. Randy!
Sadly, Isaac Hayes would pass away in August 2008, just over 2 years after leaving the show. Confusion around Hayes' exact reasons for quitting South Park remain unclear. However, speaking to The Hollywood Reporter in 2016, Hayes' son, Isaac Hayes III, claimed that his father never actually quit the show. He's quoted as saying, "Isaac Hayes did not quit South Park. Someone quit South Park for him. What happened was that in January 2006 my dad had a stroke and lost the ability to speak. He really didn't have that much comprehension and he had to relearn to play the piano and a lot of different things. He was in no position to resign under his own knowledge. At the time, everybody around my father was involved in Scientology. His assistants, the core group of people. So someone quit South Park on Isaac Hayes' behalf. We don't know who." This theory would certainly explain the inconsistencies in Hayes' attitude to the episode after it aired. It also appears to be an opinion shared by Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who seem to hint at the same explanation towards the end of the Return of Chef episode.
"We shouldn't be mad at Chef for leaving us. We should be mad at that fruity little club for scrambling his brains."
Whatever the reason, I think one thing that's for certain is that it was a sad way for such a long-standing character to leave the show. And perhaps more importantly, a sad way for an original cast member to part ways with the show he worked on for almost 10 years. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe to help the channel grow.